Hey everybody, Omar here, the Knife Shark Guy, and I am back with another fun-filled video for you. And today, I've got a new knife, and this is not it. You guys already seen this knife. This is the Kershaw Knockout. I brought this out just to show you real quick, give you a quick overview, because it is very similar to the knife that I'm going to bring out in a few seconds. So this is the Kershaw Knockout in stonewash finish with an all-carbon fiber handle. It's a subframe lock, spring-assisted knife with an M390 blade. Now, the Kershaw all-carbon fiber knife is not new. They've actually done this even before the Kershaw Knockout came out. They have the Kershaw, excuse me, they had the Kershaw Leak in all-carbon fiber. It came out in two versions. They had it in CPM 154. And they also had it in D2 and Sandvik steel composite blades. So this is the second knife that they put out in all carbon fiber. I just wanted to let you guys see that one more time. This is a sprint run. I think you can still get these if you, look around the internet. You might still find one. You can definitely get them on eBay. They're hiking up the price on the secondary market on these. They're like anywhere between, I don't know, like $225 and up now, just because the steel is an M390 and the fact that it's a sprint run makes the knife sought after. So, the knife that I have to show you today happens to be one of the knives that's part of the the carbon fiber series. I call it the carbon fiber series. I don't know if it really is, but there's the Leak, there's the Knockout, and now we have the Kershaw Bareknuckle 777, and here he is. Let's bring him right out. And now let's bring out this guy. We'll put him aside over here. So this is the Kershaw Bareknuckle knife. This is brand new by Kershaw. It's a sprint run that they put out. I gotta talk about this knife for a minute. So the Kershaw knife, the Kershaw Bareknuckle, it's been around for a while. I think it came out in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. Sandvik 14C28N, and it also came out later, excuse me, as an exclusive with, I believe it was Smoky Mountain Knives. They released an all-black DLC-coated blade knife with aluminum handle. So this is the second version of this knife, and it's an all carbon fiber, just like the Knockout. So getting into this knife, just want to talk about it for a minute. I mean, I have passed up this knife twice now, because when I first saw the knife, the Kershaw Bareknuckle, I thought I really loved the way that it looked. I love the handle. I love the length of the blade. I love the size. I loved all the stuff, but aesthetically, the knife was making me puke. I really didn't particularly care for the aesthetics on the knife. So when they released the 20CV version, an all aluminum handle, I thought, okay, a little better. And then 2 days ago, like all of you guys, I've been poking around on Instagram, and someone put this knife out on Instagram, and I saw it. I'm sure probably some of you guys saw it on Instagram as well. I went nuts. When I saw it, I had to have this particular version. Number one, I'm crazy about an all-black knife. Number two, I love the carbon fiber look. And number three, it's in black wash. It will hide all the scratches. Why wouldn't you want to have it? And finally, the deal killer, it's an M390. I had to get it. Because to be honest with you, if the aluminum handle version of this knife had come out in, the CV version, if that had come out in black wash, I would have taken that knife anyway, even with the aluminum handle. But I just wasn't crazy about the DLC-coated blade, so I went with this version. This is the version that I was absolutely crazy about. So this is my very first bare-knuckle knife. So let's go ahead and do the stats on this. So the overall length of this knife is 8.20. The blade length of the knife is roughly, if I take it and put it over here, looks like the mat is roughly, the blade length would roughly be, yeah, oops, right about there. So yeah, it's about 3.5 inches. The blade thickness is 0.12. Okay, the material on this knife is M390. It's got a black wash finish. This is a, you could kind of, I guess, maybe say to yourself, is it a drop point blade? It's sort of like a modified drop point, sort of Wharncliffe style blade. I think it pushes more towards the Wharncliffe style blade, with almost it being quite flat, because a true Wharncliffe style blade is flat, but as you can see, this one's a little bit curved, so I would call it a modified Wharncliffe style blade. For those of you that aren't familiar with the Wharncliffe style blade, you might want to take a look at the Yojimbo 2. That is a true Wharncliffe style blade all the way. So this knife sports sort of a modified version of that. The handle length is 4.7. The handle thickness is 0.45. We got all carbon fiber handle. It's an all black. It's a subframe lock. So don't know how you guys feel about that. The subframe lock is basically, it's kind of like a takeoff on a frame lock, except what they do is they take two materials, in this case it's all carbon fiber, and they cut out a section of it, and then they take this, I believe this is aluminum, it could be stainless, I'm not quite sure what this material is, I'll have to find out. But they take the subframe lock and they actually screw it right inside the carbon fiber, because there's no way to do a frame lock on a carbon fiber knife. It would just break off after repeatedly doing this to the knife. So they had to come up with a different way. It would be the subframe lock, and the subframe lock is nothing new. They've actually done it before on several of their knives, including the Knockout. So anyway, continuing on, this is a manual flipper. It runs on KVT ball bearing system. Now the action on this knife is good. It's not great, it's good. It is perfectly dead centered, as you guys can see. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's dead centered right there. Yeah, really well centered. The action is very well done. It's very good. It's not great. To me, great action would be the Kershaw Tumbler. I keep talking about the Kershaw Tumbler and the action. I mean, as you guys can see, this knife basically just falls shut. I don't have to do anything to it. It will just fall. This knife does not fall shut, but the action is still good. It's still a very good ball bearing system. And it does close very, very well. So this is sort of a much heavier blade, obviously, than the D2 Kershaw Tumbler stonewash knife here. But nevertheless, yes, the action is 10 times better on this knife than it is on this one. But it doesn't mean that I don't like the action on this knife. I did say it was very good. The pivot is a titanium pivot, although it looks like a cheap... I hate to use that word, but it does look quite cheap in all black like that. But it's actually I believe this is a titanium pivot on there. And it's got a stainless steel pocket clip for tip up on left and right carry. So you can take the clip and pop it from this side, put it over to that side. The knife is made in the US of A. And now we're going to be doing some size comparisons. So let's go ahead and do some. All right. So Kershaw Knockout will be first. There you go. Okay, so it's a, you can tell this is more of like a medium to a large knife, the Kershaw Knockout. Let's put it up against the Kershaw tumbler. You guys got to get this knife. It's only 60 bucks. You can't be beaten. And sit there all night long and do that. I mean, just sit there and flip it all day. I'd buy it just for that. So it's a Kershaw tumbler. Okay, and how about a knife that everybody knows? The Zero Tolerance 0562. And how about the Benchmade Anthem? So it is roughly the same size as the, the 0562 as far as lengthwise. Okay, practically the same size as the 0562. The Benchmade Anthem, and for flavor, let's just go ahead and put it up against a smaller knife, everybody's favorite. I know it's my favorite, the Sebenza 21. So, as you guys can tell by doing the size comparisons, this is a fairly large knife. So, there you have it. I haven't cut with this knife yet. But I'll go ahead and do that in the next video. We'll do an overall review. This is just a quick look at the Kershaw Bareknuckle. This knife was, I believe it was $129.99 on the Kershaw website. Unfortunately, guys, it is now sold out. I picked mine up for like $150 on the secondary market. It's now going for like $225 everywhere else. I don't know if this is going to be the last configuration. This is also not the last one. I also saw a gold-colored aluminum handle version, all black DLC-coated blade with the same colored black pivot that you see here in CV20. So that was also another one that I saw, but I don't know if this one's going to be the last one. It might be. As far as I understand, the Kershaw's got 2 more sprint runs in the works. But I would definitely try and pick yourself up one of these, even on the secondary market, guys. It's worth it. I don't think it's worth like 300 bucks though, so I wouldn't. If somebody out there is selling the Kershaw Bareknuckle in M390, the carbon fiber version, this version for around $300, don't do it. It's not worth that. But you know, roughly right around the 200 price range, I don't think you'd feel too stupid. It is a really great knife. The knife does come in M390 steel. And if you guys were like me and were dying to get a Bareknuckle and didn't like the aesthetics of the original or any of the other sprint runs that are currently out there, you're going to want to try and get a hold of this one. Like I said, the action is very good. It doesn't take a whole lot to get it open. As you can see, I'm not even really holding it, and I'm able to flip that just with, you know, like my few fingers that I got. There you go. I mean, it is a good action knife. Like I said, it's not the tumbler action, right, which almost practically falls shut, but this is still action good enough to merit this particular piece. I do love that. The size is perfect. The fact that the knife is as light as a feather, that's one of the things that the carbon fiber version brings to this knife, is the fact that it is dead light. I mean, just really very light. The pocket clip, I don't know how to feel about that. I think it's too small, but because the knife is so slim, they would definitely need to have the pocket clip be small. I just don't think it needed to be that small. Yeah. It's just an absolutely gorgeous knife. Basically, with the Kershaw Bareknuckle, it's almost like they just picked up right where ZT left off or something. You know, this could be sort of a part of the Zero Tolerance lineup, I think. Although I'm not really quite sure, because Zero Tolerance is more of the beefy, heavy, tanky looking knives. And of course, you guys know that Kershaw's trying to get back to that. beefy look, especially in the last few years when all their knives were sort of skinny and slim, like like this knife here. But yeah. So the Kershaw Bareknuckle is really a fantastic buy. It's a great sprint run. They may do second runs of this again. I don't know. But they do have 2 more sprint runs in the works. I don't know what they are. I'm sure you'll probably be able to find out. Like I'll find out on Instagram somewhere. Someone's gonna, do the work for us. That's what's great about social media. Somebody else out there will do the work, and all you get to do is just buy the knife and reap the rewards. So I'm not much of a production knife collector anymore, but if I see a sprint run that I like, I know I'm going to have it and put it in my EDC lineup for everyday carry. I should have gotten some paper for you guys. I didn't do that. I do apologize, but I will do that next time. In the meantime, you guys definitely should consider getting this knife. Like I said, don't pick it up for $300 on the secondary market. It's not worth that, but right around 200, 210, 225. I think 225 would be my limit on this knife as far as purchasing it on the secondary market, but it is a great buy. Just think about what you're getting for what you're paying for. You're getting an all carbon fiber, almost custom-like knife. The knife comes in with a KVT ball bearing system, which is something that Kershaw is slowly coming back to. Although the spring-assisted market seems to still be the one thing that they're pushing. But now that, zero tolerance has sort of taken off in the last 5 years, I think they can begin to rebuild the Kershaw lineup. Maybe even have the one thing that I've been griping about, which is a mid-line knife, I guess, series of knives, like with different steels that we all would love to see. Like CPM 154, more CPM 154 knives, more composite blades again, more knives, maybe something in LMAX or somewhere in there. Do a sprint run with LMAX. We want to see different steels, and I think this knife was the perfect hit up for that, because this knife basically has everything that probably every knife lover would love to have in their collection. Kershaw Bareknuckle 777. So there you have it, guys. This is my latest knife that I just purchased. It's a Kershaw knife. As you guys know, my channel is all about discontinued Kershaws and customs, so this knife kind of fits in with my theme on my channel, Kershaws and Customs. Yeah, definitely consider getting yourselves one of these. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and cut with this knife and do another review on it, a full review, give you my opinion on it as far as using the knife, because I don't do that all that often on this channel. As you guys know, I'm mostly a collector of knives, not really much of a user. But if the opportunity arises, I will use my knife, which is probably going to be the segment of another video that I'll be doing in the future called Do You Use Your Knife? So, the Kershaw, I'll bring it out again, the Kershaw Bareknuckle knife, Sprint Run, 7777 carbon fiber and M390. You can pick up one of these right now on eBay. And I'm sure if you look real hard, you'll probably find it somewhere, maybe on Reddit, maybe somebody's selling it on Instagram, but I definitely know they're probably selling at least 4 of these on eBay. You may want to pick up yourselves one of these. The highest price one that I saw was, about $225. Like I said, $225 for this knife. I think it's worth it. For a Kershaw sprint run. Keep in mind, they are hiking up the price because 1, it is a sprint run, 2, it's M390 steel, 3, it's an all-carbon fiber knife, and 4, it runs on KVT ball bearing system. So this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off, hoping you'll find this fantastic piece of sharp art in your collection. Hope you guys are staying safe out there. just wanted to remind you, I do have one custom that I'm currently waiting for. It's coming to me. It's from a very, very well-known knife maker. I don't want to say who it is. I want to just kind of keep it a surprise. But the knife is a South African custom, and probably if you guys have an Instagram channel, you may have seen the knife. It's on my Instagram page under Knife Shark. So check me out there as well. I currently, every once in a while, I will pop one of my knives out for show on my Instagram page. And anyway, yeah, Kershaw Bareknuckle, one more time, 7777 M390. The knife was inspired by the ZT777. It's an in-house design, which means there's no actual designer associated with the knife. It's an in-house design, which means that several knife makers over at Kershaw got together and came up with this particular design for this knife. So once again, this is Omar the Knife Shark Guy signing off, hoping you'll find this fantastic piece of sharp art in your collection. I hope this has been fun and interesting for you, and maybe you'll pick up yourselves up one of these. You know, Jesus, I definitely recommend getting it. Don't pass the opportunity up if you get one, or if you see one and you happen to have the money, go ahead and buy it. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a fantastic evening.